Here I'm standing in Sheffield's largest ancient woodland, located on the southwest side of our city, covering an area of some 350 acres. As a wee lad, I, along with other kids from surrounding districts, roamed this huge wood almost daily. Behind me is a wood collier's grave. To you and I, a wood collier is a charcoal producer. Charcoal has many uses. Here it was used in iron smelting. The wood collier was a Mr. George Yardley. He was burnt to death in his cabin somewhere around here on the 11th of October 1786. Here is a fish pond, barely 30 seconds walk away from the wood collier's grave, probably where Mr. Yardley fished. I and many other kids fished here for frogs, toads and sticklebacks. Now it is time to leave Ettlesall Wood and go back to my humble workshop, to the Regentone RG99/2 restoration project. The reason for the delay between my last production and this one is due to an incident I had concerning this chassis. Whilst balancing a cardboard box full of items between one hand and my chest and locking our back door with my other hand, this chassis fell from the top of the box of items onto a concrete path and bounced down 5 concrete steps. As you can imagine, I immediately became very grumpy. I had to strip all the silver paint off this chassis and go through the paint spray process a second time. It looks reasonable, especially now I've begun the process of reconstruction. 4 of the valve bases are now fitted to the chassis. There is one more valve base left to be secured. That's one here. I'm not riveting that one because it includes a connecting base for a valve shield. Now, the end of the tool for riveting the valve base into place is too large. Therefore I would not be able to get the rivet to sit snug without distorting the valve base shield. So this one here will be secured with 2 4BA nuts and bolts. You know, why on earth I didn't buy a new pack or 2 of nuts and bolts is beginning to make me wonder. My wife would say, in fact she does say, I am a tight-fisted old fart. A typical Yorkshire man, she would say. But then, she's an Hampshire hog. It is widely believed that we Yorkshire people stick rigidly to the following: see all, hear all, sen out, eat all, sup all, pay out, and if there does out for note, do it for the sen. Translating that for the benefit of our American cousins and for those who are living in the south of England. See all, hear all, say nothing. eat all, drink all, pay nothing, and if you do anything for free, do it for yourself. My advice is to take no notice of what non-Yorkshire Brits say about us Yorkshire people being tight-fisted. Speaking as a Yorkie, what you may hear is not true. Such a pity my wife refuses to believe me on this particular point. Right, back in a minute or so when I've fitted these nuts and bolts to these bases onto this chassis. Now that the valve base along with the valve shield base is in place, I'll resheath the connecting wires of this mains transformer with this 3mm brown plastic sleeving. Being cloth braided, the mains transformer wires might have been safe, but I'm not someone who takes chances, especially when I have the means to make something definitely safe. Now it's the turn of the two IFT transformers to be fitted. It's just as well I produce this diagram. Oh dear, I've made a wee mistake. I have fitted the valve shield base to the wrong valve base. It should go here. Back in a few minutes when I have moved it across. The valve shield base has now been moved across. The second IF transformer has been fitted, and this chassis is beginning to take shape. Next I'll fit these sockets and the like onto the back of the chassis. I'd say it took me a generous 20 minutes poking through the contents of my screwball chamber pot just to find these few nuts and bolts. I hope it does not take me that length of time to poke through this tub here of rubber grommets. The sockets etc. are now fitted, as are the replacement rubber grommets, and I've cut a piece of 1mm mild steel and shaped it. It blanks the hole where the old smoothing capacitors were. Now, unless my palm is crossed with cash, I do not restuff capacitors. Now, some of you may be wondering or curious as to what this radio is that I have been listening to. It is a Motorola 59R1. I don't have a circuit diagram for it, and I'm not quite sure of its year of manufacture. I would imagine that it is probably somewhere around the late 1950s or earlier part of the 1960s. It works on 117 volts, and I have retained its original mains lead. I shall now knock this restoration work on its head for today. When I resume in a few days' time, I shall be doing some soldering. I may replace a few defective components if there's time. This afternoon Bournemouth lost their football match against Liverpool. That will have annoyed my wife. She loves football. I dislike it intensely. I always have. I'll remain inside my workshop here for a while longer. I've almost finished reading Fanny Hill, Memoirs of a Woman of Pleasure by John Cleland. I'll venture into our house after I've read the first 5 chapters of The Iron Heel by Jack London. I've read that one already. Very good read. My wife, of course, will only talk football at me. I can't be doing with that. Thank you for viewing part 4. I hope you will join me again for part 5. So until then, it is TTFN.